Welcome back, my Duelist friends. Casual Duelist here, and happy Tuesday. So, this week I wanted, if I could, to just go ahead and do those three other requests that I had. Um, I showed them to you guys, I think it was like Friday's video, right at the tail end. I wanted to do be a Bountiful Ocean, Whale of a Tale, and an Under Pressure request, because these were all really cool requests. And like, I don't know, I kind of like Mako Tsunami. I love tech water builds, and it kind of reminds me of one of my old friends. So we're doing it today, and we're going to be starting with the Bountiful Ocean. So we need to know the skill. So start of the duel, you flip this one over, and what do you get? You get while Umi is face up on the field, you get to apply the following effects. First effect, non-effect water monsters you control are unaffected by non-water monster effects. So, unless for some reason you end up in a total, mismatch against another Mako Tsunami player, chances are your monsters are just going to be immune to monster effects. Second, once per turn, you can add one water monster from the graveyard to your hand, but for the remainder of this turn, you may not activate cards or effects until you normal summon that monster or a card that shares its name. It seems kind of redundant, but like, let's get it, right? So, cool things. Cool things is cool. So we are going to be playing 3 copies of Kyryushin because I love this guy. You guys may or may not remember this as being like one of Mako Tsunami's original powerhouse cards, and actually a whole reason that we play one of the skills. Next, we're going to be playing 3 copies of the Terror King Salmon, and like, I get it. You're like, oh my goodness, that's 6 monsters that need a tribute. Hold on. This is about to get wicked, okay? With the last GX box, we were given something amazing, and that is the Warrior of Atlantis. Or no, maybe this was the Streets of Battle City. This is something, SBC1. This might be Streets of Battle City. So the Warrior of Atlantis has joined our card pool, which means... what exactly? It means we can discard this card from the hand to the graveyard to add 1 copy of Legendary Ocean from the deck to the hand. Stop. Legendary Ocean is actually the whole build. So let's start with the spell card, and then I will go back and I'll talk over why we chose those guys. So first off, this card's name is always treated as Umi. What does that mean? It means always. That's even when you're deck building. So you can only have, if you were playing copies of Umi as well, only up to 3. It'd be sort of like the limit list when we do the 3 ofs on this. You could have 2 Legendary Oceans, 1 Umi. You could have 2 Umis, 1 Legendary Ocean. You could have 1 and 1 and 1 of something else. But you can't play 3 in any copies of the other one. But this card goes beyond that. It says all water monsters on the field gain an additional 200 attack and defense. That's crazy, right? Let's talk the last sentence. Reduce the level of all water monsters in both players' hands and on the field by 1 star. What does that mean? It means if we back up, and you know this means the Warrior of Atlantis will be a 2100 point 3 star. That means the Terror King Salmon will go from a 5 to a 4 star, and from 2400 to 2600. Immediately outclassing the Summoned Skull, not just in that, but the fact that we won't even be tributing to play him. Same deal with Kyryushin. Kyryushin will jump from 18 to 2000, while dropping it from a 5 star to a 4 star. So really, these 9 cards are all very super playable. And should we get the Warrior of Atlantis on the field, and then, pitch the Warrior of Atlantis to go ahead and get one of our, I'll put him down, one of our 3 copies of Legendary Ocean, then when we activate the Bountiful Ocean in one of those turns, we may always call the Warrior of Atlantis back from the discard to our hand to simply summon it, at which point it is a 3 star at 2100 value. So again, for like the first 12 cards of the deck to be this is crazy. And like, let's talk math, because I'm super into numbers. Let's say, and this is a 20 card base. If you went 4 first, that's 4 cards in your hand. So one of those 4 cards has a very good chance of being one of these 6 cards. 6 and 20 reduces to 3 and 10, meaning there's a 30% chance that any one card in your opening hand is one of these. That's kind of awesome. It kind of means you're just going to play this and you're going to be good, and you're going to, again, these 6, they are going to be unaffected by any monster effect that isn't a water monster, which, again, unless we happen to be in a mirror match, that's not going to happen. So we could just go ahead and run those things over for the most part. So now that we understand that this deck is essentially 12 cards that lead into a severe beatdown, how do we play the rest of the deck? I'll show you. We're going to add the 2 copies Book of Moon, and we went double because, you have to. It's good. We went with a single Cosmic Cyclone because, again, you kind of have to. This encapsulates our 3 threes for the limit list. And it's fine, okay? You get a little bit of monster control. You've got a little bit of back row. You're going to have some more spot control in the form of 2 additional Night Beams. And this all sounds really crazy. But keep in mind with you, they're going to be trying to get rid of Legendary Ocean. They're going to be trying. So let me show you guys a card that's been out since Battle City Box. The first Battle City Box. And let's talk about why this card is going to just rip in this deck. I'm talking 2 copies Judgment of Anubis. Okay? I know a lot of you saw this card and went, oh, cool, it's got Anubis on it. He's the god of death. Well, he's not the god of death. He's the god of the pathways of death. He's essentially like Egypt's Grim Reaper. Osiris is actually the god of the underworld, and therefore the god of the dead and judgment, not Anubis. Anubis is more or less like you want to see Anubis. He's going to help guide you to your final judgment. But that's not the point. The point is this has a crazy cool effect. So when the opponent activates a spell card that would destroy a spell or trap on the field, and it says in singular or multiple, you discard a card, negate the activation, and if you do, destroy the card. Then you can destroy 1 face-up monster the opponent controls, and if you do that, inflict damage to the opponent equal to their monster's attack that it had on the field. So if they're playing like an equipped build deck, like one of my Gearfried, the Sword Master builds or something, or even like an updated Mahavilo, and maybe we'll touch that again here soon. That means the Judgment of Anubis is going to absolutely smite them for trying to remove the Legendary Ocean from play. Okay? Think about that. Now, it doesn't work against Cosmic Cyclone. So, again, this is not a bad choice to swap out Game 2, Game 3. But Game 1, knowing that there are going to be things like Galactic Cyclone and stuff, or if they're going after your face-down cards, it's still very, very good. And it's essentially half of an original Ring of Destruction. It does have some limitations. It does. I'm not going to lie to you there. It only works against spells. But again, spells are more common than you think. And by the time Breaker gets out, you're just going to book him anyway. He's going face down. He's not flipping back up. He's definitely fish food as far as this deck goes. Let's see about just bringing the focus back now. How about there we go. So, yeah, just really good stuff there. This is only 19 cards. So the 20th card is, of course, a copy of Lost Wind for obvious reasons. But believe it or not, Judgment of Anubis, it's going to start coming in. I'm going to start cycling this card in every now and again, just to kind of remind you guys that that is absolutely a thing for a reason. But this is the main deck, so if you guys want, go ahead and screen cap, or let me get my hand out of the way, screen cap it or pause and make the notes, and I'll be back with the rest of it, all right? So just one moment, my friends. All right, now off to the extra deck. The extra deck is, of course, the generic Good Stuff gang. Blue Eyes Ultimate, Psy Blader, Psy End, DN Dragoon, Ojima King, and the TIs Restrict. Again, we're going to be using Waking the Dragon. Waking the Dragon is another excellent thing, but of course, the opponent's more than likely going to be targeting after our legendary oceans, not so much our back row. But once they start seeing some of those other cards flip out of the back row, and you go into games 2 and 3, you will be setting those copies of Waking the Dragon. So these copies are going to help you. And again, this is part of the side deck. It just helps us get into extra deck plays. Additionally, with this build, I am doing a double Mind Crush. Or sorry, single Mind Crush. Oh my goodness. Sorry about that. Double Lost Wind is where my mind was. And honestly, guys, if you don't want to play the double Lost Wind, play a single with Dahlgren. And I was just looking for like one other card. So honestly, I just picked up one of my last extra decks. And I'm just playing it today. Again, like I said, we can take one of these out. We can add Dahlgren, the Flame Mad Kaiju. And if you give us a half a second, he's still sitting here on the table. So we could do something like that as well. The whole extra Lost Wind, that's kind of one of those optional plays. There is a good one in the main deck already. But either way that you play this first slot, this is solid. And this is a fun deck. And this is not the only way to play Bountiful Ocean. I mean, guys, it's honestly giving you big effects for playing non-effects. And we could have put Justy Breaks in here. You just have to be very okay with losing Warrior of Atlantis and or if you've played any of these boys. But that said, you could easily do Justy Breaks too, at which point, maybe these two turn into Justy Breaks, and you just do that instead. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this. I do have another deck coming up in another day or so. We have the Whale of a Tale, and today's Tuesday, so let's go for Thursday with Whale of a Tale. And then on Saturday, I'm going to be doing the Under Pressure deck. And then Sunday, I should have a Speed Duel Spotlight. I'm thinking about highlighting a Speed Duel skill that we used this last week. I'll probably get that figured out the next day or so, whether or not that's what we're going to do. And then this next Monday, I think we're going to go back to Magic the Gathering. And I think I got like a red-white Allies build that was block built. So I think I'll bring that out. But yeah, for now, you guys do what you guys have been doing. Support the channel. I've been seeing a lot more likes, comments, and a lot more people subscribing lately. So again, thank you for all of it. It means so much that you guys come here and you just get to enjoy this content. And that's the reason I keep making it. So as long as you guys keep liking and watching, I'll keep making you guys stuff to watch and like. Let your friends know. It seems like you might have been doing that this whole time too. And just enjoy yourselves, guys, okay? I hope to see you guys next time. Later.